pregnant.
You got sciatica. And
What?
Okay, look. I have a friend because I have my neck issues that does come over and give me a massage on my back.
Keep on rubbing on.
But see, I changed the concept so I don't get no feelings. I pay you.
That's prostitution at that point.
that's what I was about to say.
It's not for sex.
Lisa,
Rubbing get you pregnant.
Tony Blake said your soulmate can do whatever.
I know that's right,
Soulmate is
right.
soul companion now.
We're not talking about soulmate though, Tony.
I have a physical therapist that's unlicensed.
We're talking about soul companions.
That's what we're going to call
with and or without
pay
benefits.
for it.
Not prostitute.
Yeah.
I pay for it.
Okay.
The service being provided.
So there's something inside.
Sanctified
Deep
lane.
down
The thing is, I didn't get a receipt. I need to
Almost came out by sanctified lane.
Oh, my Lord.
Talking about massages and getting paid and happy endings and all that stuff. Oh,
Right,
anybody
but
say
it's a
nothing
sexual
on that?
edge. This one.
Wait a minute, Sarah says, I cannot explain to those who don't know the difference between a soulmate and a best friend, whom is a lover too.
But see, because but Sarah, you already defined to yourself what a soulmate is.
Your
Right.
husband.
And apparently, sorry to say this, boo-boo,
Uh-oh.
but that dude that's your soulmate is the other lady's soulmate now. It's unfortunate, and I'm sorry that you're going through that situation, but apparently just for lack of a better phrase, and not to be insulting, he preferred that over what you had.
I don't know the entire situation, so
I know, but I'm
we
just
not
saying
trying to kill
what
your faith.
she's already explained to us.
right that
He's over there. He's not with you. You need to start. She said something about blocking blessings too, because now
Right.
she's blocking her own blessing.
I
still
do
trying to
agree.
claim somebody else that is over there doing what he's doing with that one with her legs up. Okay.
Leslie looking for the bell. She ain't say nothing the whole...
I'm just explaining the situation here. She got her legs up
Yes.
over there.
So-
let her do her. You need to get your legs up over there.
Don't block your own blessing.
don't block
Stop
your own
blocking
blessings.
your own.
So basically you saying get your own friends with benefits.
Exactly.
I told you I ain't waiting.
I'm sorry. Your companion has moved.
Oh
to
my
enough
God,
business.
Tony.
What you do?
Tony said rubbing feet could lead to sucking toes.
Yep, and you
Jesus.
get pregnant. I'm trying
And
to
you
tell
can
you.
And you
get
end up
pregnant.
That's
pregnant.
what
But I'm not
get pregnant from
again.
sucking toes?
She also
Yes.
said that she can't explain that.
I tried to
anybody
try to get Sarah.
Right, because that's her own
That's her own
personal
definition of what that soulmate is.
Tony said he wanted 80%, not 20%. He's such a fool.
Well, stop going around sucking toes. Let's start with that.
That's how you get lint in your mouth.
Because don't nobody want to be with somebody with lint in their
You're
mouth.
supposed to eat American cheese, not toe cheese.
The black dot.
Gingivitis.
All right, listen. That's none of this has anything to do with.
It's something inside.
It's something inside, deep down in your soul.
Something
for your soulmate.
inside made you get...
Flashbacks. If your partner is your soulmate, chances are he or she has been present in your past lives. Now he been saying about the no flashbacks.
I get flashbacks from
Like
I get
deja vu?
flashbacks from Magic
That's what
Mike.
she has in the frontal lobe. She's still having flashbacks in her frontal lobe.
That's exactly. You might even feel the sense of deja
Frontal
vu
lobe.
Oh, I didn't even read
because
Did y'all
this
see
is
Magic Mike?
this is talking about your.
Did y'all see Channing Tatum in Magic Mike?
I ain't seen
That's
it.
one of your
And he just
flashbacks.
didn't have
That's
a
I'm about to
shirt
say
on.
what. Yes,
That's
sorry.
one of your
Thank
flashbacks.
And I just had a flashback. Jesus
Okay.
help me, bring me.
But you don't got
She
something
got
down
soul
inside.
ties, but she ain't got a
Ooh,
chain.
That's your soul
Take
side.
me to the
That's soul
Take me
side.
to the cross.
Sarah said a soulmate can leave your home because he lives with another. Is to fulfill what separates you two, but I'm still the soulmate and will always be. So let me just ask you this, Sarah. What you're saying, so I can make sure I understand, is I believe that was your husband or someone you was in a relationship with. They left.
Husband.
Your husband. They left, but you feel like you will forever and always be his soulmate, even though he left. You're committed to the role.
I got a question to
It
add
makes
to that,
sense because what I said was there's so many different aspects of our soul. You might meet a certain need in one aspect, and then I have somebody else over here that meet other needs.
Like
That-
Tony just said, 80-20.
like
I got
Tony
a question
said.
to add to that one too. If he left her, would you take him back?
And would you
Yes, she would.
wait to take
She
it
would.
back?
Would, because she's saying that that's
She's
her
saying
soulmate.
she's
Take it
our-
back.
that
So
soulmate.
what we're saying here,
Because
let's
she
get a
believes that
consensus
they
in the
are
room.
attached.
She's already blocked her blessing.
Because
If
she's
She's finding.
Wait, because he could be her blessing to her. So if that's what she considers
Okay.
to be her
because
blessing,
apparently he wasn't
then
ready to
we
commit.
blocking her blessings. I ain't no blessing blocker.
We don't-
So Sarah,
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now.
And he branched out and started adding more shows about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
You don't need these unless somebody calls in.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, and welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BigExposedRadio.com. We're here live on the Artist Exchange Show. I am your host, Mr. Damonn. He is out of town this weekend. He's doing some projects. Damonn is my new co-host, and he's doing some. He's a videographer and producer, stuff like that. So he's always somewhere filming something, and he's also an actor. Today is a great day. We're here a little bit earlier today because I have a show. I'm in a play called The King of Howard Street. An awesome gentleman named Anthony Williams. He's a homeless advocate and once homeless himself. He's been homeless since he was a child. He's been passed around from place to place, and as an adult, unfortunately, he has been homeless for the greater part of his adult life. And he did some journaling a few years ago during a big blizzard that we had here in the city. And from that journal, he did some research, and he decided to pass it on to someone in the theater world. You know, any writer has aspirations of seeing life being breathed into their work, and he trusted Mr. Evan Mortez. He is a creative director and founder of Annex Theater. He saw him on the street and gave him his journals, and the rest was history. And a young lady, I have to get her name, she actually adapted his piece and turned it into a full play. And this is the first time it's ever been done. So my group called Kaumba, with our artistic director, Kaumba, I said Kaumba, that's her name on Facebook, Roz Carthen. She is the director and creative director of Kaumba Collective, a group I've been in for, I want to say almost 12 years now, since I was like a sophomore in college. Kind of dating myself a little bit, but it's been a great pleasure meeting Anthony and hearing his stories of being homeless right on Howard Street. All those abandoned buildings at some point have been a home for homeless and people without shelter. And it's very sad. One, how many times have you walked past somebody who was homeless, on drugs, or having some type of issue, and you never know what gems that they have inside of them? And this man has a rich story, and not even story, a perspective where he had been journaling throughout the process. It wasn't just stuff that he was recalling. He was actually journaling his feelings, his emotions, what was actually going on at that time. So I play St. Louis, his one of his friends. And all the people are real, which makes it very uncomfortable because we're not like in some other state doing this. We could walk out our door and run into one of those people. Unfortunately, half of the characters that are in the play have either died or they can't find them. And most of them are still on the streets. So that was unfortunately. A few of them have actually come to see it, and it's awkward trying to gauge, you know, how they feel about us playing people that they actually know. And I'm always a fan of Annex Theater and Kaumba, and this is definitely not the most challenging play, but it's the most uncomfortable because we're all a paycheck away from being homeless or out on the streets, and you can never count your blessings enough when people they don't even have a toilet to use or food to eat, and you are thankful. And we complain about about a lot of the things that happen to us, but we never count the cost. Like, it could be worse. It's somebody actually doing worse. And not to say that should be a happy spot for you, but just know that every time you complain, it's always somebody doing a lot worse. Coming in on the weekend of Memorial Day, definitely count your blessings because you got up this morning, you know, and you have all your faculties and you're of sound mind. And because there are a lot of people who aren't, that are walking the street with a lot of stuff that they're carrying that is clouding their judgment and their mindset, so on and so forth. But so we'll have today to talk through that. We have an awesome young lady joining us. I met her at the last month's, was it last month's? Poets for Dinner with Miss Precious, Miss Givens. Actually, their last one for this season is actually this coming Sunday at the Arts 2 building, City Arts building on Greenmount Avenue, 1700 Greenmount Avenue. And I'm a fan of art. I'm a fan of people being themselves. I'm a fan of people using the art to be themselves. And I really enjoyed your performance. It was really off from where everybody else was going. It was real inspirational, and having a lot of women in my family, I've always seen a lot of strong women, and your poetry exemplified that. And you were proud to be a woman, and you were really displaying your talent. So we'll get to hear a little bit of the drums a little bit later. But I'll jump right out there. How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
The weather is kind of trying to its thing, but it's sunny.
It's good.
I was perspiring a lot getting here, so I said, you know, I'm thankful because there's a little sunshine and not just dreary, cold clouds out there. So if you could tell our listeners who you are and what you do and all that jazz.
Yes, indeed. My name is Dorothy Adamson Holley. I am a developmental psychologist and a clinical social worker. Wow. I'm currently working at Baltimore Central Booking and Intake Center, which I absolutely love. Okay. I love corrections. It's a challenging place to work, but what I do is I bring
that's what you went to school
compassion. For. Yes, I call it compassionate corrections. That's my tagline, because oftentimes, like you were saying, you know, we're often just one paycheck or one experience from
one mistake away.
Yes, exactly. From the people that we're serving, and I think it's an honor. I know it's an honor to be able to serve people.
And that's a really underserved population of people who need that.
Yes.
And often, like, people overlook the fact that they need compassion.
Yes.
And not just, you know, discipline.
We all do. And in addition to that, my sister and I, Mama D, we founded a nonprofit organization called Nyami-NT, Cultural Healing Arts Therapy, in 2005. Nyami-NT is an Adinkra symbol, and it means by God's grace, because we recognize that without the grace of God,
people
we would
call
not
it
exist. Nyami.
Okay.
Nyami. You probably will hear lots
the
of
ones you
different
have on your
pronunciations.
earrings, right?
Yes, this is Gnami.
Okay.
But Nyami-NT is a fern. And it symbolizes the fertility of God and the provision, like it symbolizes a blade of wheat. You know, since God exists, we will not feed on leaves. God always provides for us. And so we take that with us everywhere we go. Our motto is love and forgive. If you see on my drum, my tagline is change everything, love and forget. Love and forgiveness are the two most powerful forces in the universe. Nothing trump them. And so we promote that everywhere we go. I'm a psychologist. My sister is a nurse. And we use healing arts, African dance, African drumming, storytelling, poetry, tell people to heal. Yes, not just through talk therapy, because I've worked with a lot of individuals who are inner city, who are low income, who are come from exactly where I come from. I grew up in Adamson Village, and I choose EA. And so I choose to work with underserved populations because I am from there. And I had a private practice for a very long time. I started in 1999. I gave that up in 2016 to get some benefits, to be quite honest with you. That was one of the motivations.
Because you're serving people with benefits, but you don't have them yourself.
And self-employment, that's one of the perks that you do not get. But I loved working with young people. I get energized by them. I think adolescents, they're the tough population, but not really. I think it's because we have grown beyond the memory of what it was like to be a teen, to be fumbling around and unsure of yourself. And I have an expression I always use with them is, the older we get, the more angelic appears our youth. We forget what it was like to be that middle school student,
and we want them to get
accepted.
it that
And
quickly.
it's not, you know.
And it took you how many years to get
It took so
there?
long, and I wrote a poem about, and a lot of my poetry really comes from lived experience. And so I transitioned from private practice into corrections, where I enjoy working in corrections. It's really a good niche. It's a good fit for me. And coming from a family, my mother and father have 11 children. Well, some of them are gone now, and my parents are also deceased. Yeah, we all grew up in a 3-bedroom row house in Baltimore City.
That sounds like my
Yeah,
mother.
it was
She's got 11
intense, but
siblings.
we didn't know. It was wonderful growing up because we didn't know that we were
And
poor or
everybody
whatever.
had about
right,
that many
exactly.
children at that time.
And a lot of my siblings, you know, they were caught up in substance abuse and incarceration. I used to visit one of my sisters at city jail every week. On Tuesday was visiting day, and so it's like a
Standing
way
in that
almost.
line.
Yeah, you remember it with the,
Right on
with
the
the blue
sidewalk.
awning. Yeah, that line still. Well, the awning exists. The line does not. They closed that jail down, but so that's part of my story. And what I do, I like to write. I don't have a big volume of poetry because my poetry is always inspired. I can't just sit down and write something because it has to come from something that I experienced, and that's why it's so powerful for me. And a lot of pain that I had to heal myself, and then I put it into
That's
the
the
work.
best poetry.
Yes, and it is. It feeds me. It just heals me. And drumming, you don't want to talk about that because I'm a drumaholic. My sister D calls me. I'll eat, sleep, and live, breathe drumming.
Is it the vibration? It's some drummers I know, they say the sound isn't as important as the vibration that they get from
It's the energy of the drum. It's spiritual for me. It's physical. It's emotional. It's cognitive. It's all of that wrapped in one. It's a complete healing package. And I was healed through drumming, and that's why I offer that to the universe. To have
How long have you been drumming?
People. I've been drumming formally, formally or informally, because I've been drumming since I was in my mother's womb. That's kind of a trite thing to say, and you often drummers. I have a piece of drummetry called Why I Drum, and it starts with the heartbeat of my mother's womb was the first drum I ever heard, and that is the truth. So at a subconscious, unconscious level, I was drumming in the
I
womb.
remember being potty trained. I don't think I remember being in the womb as much.
It's not a memory. It's not it's not conscious. So
Right.
As long as you're living, as long as you're breathing, you are drumming. And I say that
Right.
in one of my poems. It's a heartbeat. It's a rhythm. It's an energy that's in the universe. It's a pulse. And when you can connect with that, you can never get lost. And so I started drumming at a very young age. I remember in school. Tapping on the desk.
Your favorite song? Mine was the what was
Right?
it? Mary J. Blige, Going Down. That was the.
Is that
Right.
right? Yeah. And of course, what do teachers do? Schools are about conformity. You can't make sound and make noise. You have to sit and still and pay attention. So,
Yeah.
but one thing they could never take from me was the ability to drum and hear. And so when I could no longer drum here, the drum comes through your body, and I would drum. And my husband sometimes say, "Stop drumming in your head." He'll say that because he'll know when I'm in it. I'm in that moment. I'm in drumming. He'll tell me, like, kind of pull me out of it. But on a
Well, that's a
formal level,
musician too. You can always hear it.
oh yeah, always. And if rhythm is in everything, every step. If I hear rain falling, I hear the rhythm in that, and I can come up with a beat because of everything has a rhythm.
Right.
So, but I started drumming formally. It's interesting. I was in an African dance. I was a dancer first. I'm still a dancer. And in the company I was a member of, they did not allow women to drum. It wasn't welcome for women to drum. Actually, there's a whole big taboo around women drumming, you know. A lot of taboo around that. I won't get into that. That's a whole nother,
that's still religion.
that's a whole
That's
nother
still
show.
the same.
Yeah, we can't handle the power. Lots of things like that. But I went to Africa alone in 2005.
Wow.
And I came.
Was that your first visit?
No, I went once. Well, actually, I did my dissertation research in Zambia, in rural Zambia. That was my first visit in 1998. And then in 1996, I went with a company, Sankofa Dance Theater.
Okay.
And
Miss
then
Kabibi.
Yes, Kabibi.
Mama
Shout
Kabibi.
out. Robert Kaun and the whole clan. Yes, wonderful people. I got my training as a dancer through Sankofa, but I wasn't allowed to drum. And so at the end of every class, there's a solo circle that's formed, and all the women stereotypically will get in a circle and strut their stuff. You know, they fly, they dance, and I would never get in a circle. I would always hover around the drummers, and I would lay on the floor, and I just absorb the rhythm. Solos are not my thing. I wanted to drum.
Right.
But when I went to Africa, and I saw, it freed me, because, I mean, it's some of our styles in this culture, a little constrictive. You know, women have a role, and in Africa, of course, we have a role also, but the dancing was a little bit, you know, dainty. But I went to Africa and saw women, God, their heads looked like they were going to drop off and fall on the ground. I got free, you know. I came home with like, raw. And so with trepidation, I remember I was at a class at Loyola College, now university, and I had the drums in my car, like June drums that you play with your hands, and I was going to this drum class, down on Utah, UB Blake Center, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
oh my God. Oh, the Return to Gore. Okay, so I'm walking up the steps. I said, you know, can I, you mind if I drum for your class? He's like, sure, go get your drum, Dr. Dodd. I'm like, wow. So I literally skipped steps going down to my trunk, got the drums, came out, and I've been drumming ever since. I love, it's the June, the djembe, and Papa Dom, he put me on a djembe one day, and now I just love to drum. It
well,
is
maybe
everything.
she can teach me something when we get back. So we'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BigExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org.
I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live United. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away
You
at
are listening to
theshelterpetproject.org. A public
BeExposedRadio.com.
service announcement brought to you by Madison.
The box is lit. The box is lit. The box is lit.
Ha, we all lit. Shout out Boss Man Scoop.
The box is lit, nigga. Lit, nigga.
Let's get it.
Here I come again, here I come again. About to make the track jump again. I say I feel it in my system when I feel the bass bump again. Make me wanna kick it with the kick of the drum again. Me and my beat and my vibe, threesome again. It's a problem when they all making love again. Gut check, hold your stomach in. This real sick, make it up, chuck a punch and then I spit right on the garbage artist. This ain't music for the common targets. Urban intellect from the home of logic. But like J. Cole, I'm a prominent prophet. I gotta stop it, can't stop it. Keep going, I keep going. As long as the beat going. Y'all in denial, cause like a river I keep flowing. I'm hot in the pool, weight, South Beach towing. And I be on it, no big boy, I'm an outcast. Get me on the track and ice fast. Y'all getting currency, spitting about cash. How y'all got it coming quick, in and out fast. Perpetration, this a real infiltration. Up in this bitch from the attic to the basement. Party over here cause I'm giving them what they want. This one for the black nation. Look, I got love for my people. Know the struggle for the pain, my sister, I see you. To the brothers, I love you. When y'all bleed, I bleed too. They treat us different, they know we ain't equal. But peak, we the original kings and queens. Guarding on them melanin people is what they see. They fear our greatness and power, they kill for their peace. Showing us the power, but don't want us to have a peace. Nah, they rather see us impoverished. Mom worked so hard just to keep me from starving. Bad enough, black boy synonymous target. Did everything she could to give me the opportunity to make it. Excellence was expected. College was my destination. Jail ain't a question. Now I spit knowledge and senses. Once you hear you indebted, while your rappers just whacking, forever coming in second. But me, I'ma ride the side creek to the mainstream, till I'm a shark in the ocean and on the main screen. And when I get on the track, I do my dang thing. Solid rock bars, no hove and dang thing. Maybe one day, maybe one day, but till then I'll keep flowing, keep flowing. While y'all rock to the beat, keep it going, huh? We gon' keep it going, You can't stop me from flowing, Cause I'ma keep flowing. While y'all rock to the beat, keep it going. Look, see your boy, he all kind of vicious. I don't sell out, you can miss me with your propositions. Until I'm selling out arenas, headline the position. Stand alone, flow ridiculous, I'ma do me without your permission. Let him talk, I'ma do me until it's over. Hove got the rock, I'm pushing to build me a boulder. Rapping Atlas, putting the game on my shoulder. Don't give a damn what they for, I do it for the culture. I don't know, it's just something in my neuron. Every time I get a beat, I gotta put my words on. Syntax flex, get my now adjective verb on. This is my world, you nuts, get your squirrel on. And scurry, hurry, cause the fury leave your lifeless. That to the poses bring back the lyrically righteous. I know it's hard to digest, a new diet. Soulful music, green gams, come and try this. This Olympus, where is my Triton? I am iconic. People parables booming inside my sonic sonnets. Every day in the plan, only thing I don't plan it. Live for tomorrow, seize the day, man, that's oxymoronic. Be up with the stars, man, I'm so cosmic. Down to earth with my flow, but I'm not from this planet. You can't swallow what I spit up, no vomit. Can't lease cause they proof me for bondage. Paying homage to the great, vocal carnage for who ain't. Claiming my seat at the table, nobody eating my plate. Everybody with me got their own man. Lord made me to be my own man. Mom's raised me to be a grown man. So now I'm standing right here alone, man. Original, no clone, man. Clenching the title on my own, man. Maybe one day I'll be on the throne, man. But till then I keep flowing, keep flowing. While I rock to the beat, keep it going, We gon' keep it going, I'ma keep flowing, I'ma keep flowing. While I rock to the beat, keep it going,
That's real. That's real. I'ma keep flowing. I'ma keep flowing. Y'all can't stop me. Y'all can't stop me. I'ma keep flowing. Keep flowing. While y'all rock to the beat, keep this going.
freedom. Freedom, they cry freedom. She has only lived her life as someone else's property, betrayed and taken as a child, sold by her own family. Her innocence, it has a price. Her sex is their commodity, getting rich at her expense while she is trapped in poverty. But she's our sister, she's our mother, she's a part of you and me. He's our father, he's our brother. Don't pretend that you don't see. All of this is happening right next door to you and me. How can this be happening right next door to you and me? Freedom, they cry freedom. Can you hear them sounding out in the night, praying that someone will free them? Freedom, can you hear them crying freedom? None of us are truly free till the world is free. Once again she takes the kids and changes her identity, fleeing swiftly in the night, searching for a safe retreat. No courtroom can protect them from the rage of his insanity, always living on the run as long as he is walking free. But she's our sister, she's our mother, she's a part of you and me. He's our father, he's our brother. Don't pretend that you don't see. All of this is happening right next door to you and me. How can this be happening right next door to you and me? Freedom, they cry freedom. Can you hear them sounding out in the night, praying that someone will free them? Freedom, can you hear them crying freedom? None of us are truly free till the world is free. Schoolgirls kidnapped in the night, children sold in broad daylight. Red tape, lies and politics, leaders spewing rhetoric, forcing labor without pay, 90 million every day. Modern day slavery, right next door to you and me. Freedom, they cry freedom. Can you hear them sounding out in the night, praying that someone will free them? Freedom, can you hear them crying freedom? None of us are truly free till the world is free. Freedom, they cry freedom. Freedom, they cry freedom.
You're listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Talk dirty to me.
I love it. It's awesome. It's all my makes me going every day.
Business owners, need more customers? Offer fantasy sports contests and generate more sales. Restaurants, bars, hotels.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
What does hustle hard mean to you? What does that signify in your life?
That's a lifestyle for me. You know what I mean? Like, true story. I was born into a family and a community of hustlers. Now let's get focused right quick, because when people hear the word hustler, they confuse it with con artist or something negative. So they like to call people entrepreneurs, right? But the definition, and I'm paraphrasing, but the definition of hustle is forced movement or to be hurried, right? But we're not talking about just pushing other people. Sometimes you got to push yourself, and that what makes you a hustler. True story. So the thing about it is, like, when it comes to hustling, listen, quick story. I used to go buy juleps a lot, right? And my grandmother used to make me clean the yard, shovel snow, do things like that to go get a julep. But one day she was like, look, you putting all your money in someone else's pocket. Word. Save those quarters, and I can teach you how to make a formula, and you can sell your own juleps. You understand? So the next couple weeks, I saved my money.
Always a hustler.
Listen,
got to love
but think
everybody
about
got
this.
a grandma's story like that.
Grandmothers are the natural hustlers because they were the ones who maintained and sustained our families through epidemics. You're talking Big Mama went through slavery and held it. You're talking Big Mama went through the Depression and held it. Big Mama went through crack and held it and still maintains it today. So if you don't think you come from a hustler, then you don't know where you come from. You understand?
That's so real.
I began to sell juleps, and ever since then, I capture a hustle. And a hustle is not a swindle. It's not a sneaky thing. It's up front. You're providing a need. You understand? So you're the bridge. If you're a true hustler, you're trying to be the bridge. If somebody's on one side and they need to get the other, you're trying to be the bridge, fill in the gap. So hustling is a lifestyle. It's not something you can do 10 minutes out the day. It has to be something you live.
Word.
Hey, what's up? This is Nate, host of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live, here live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I'm just so crazy. I'm tired.
I don't even know.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. I am all over the place right now. But we're about to have Miss Dorothy do
Drum Dr. Dot.
Drum Dr. Dot perform for us some music.
I like to offer a piece called I Am Woman.
Oh, I love that. That's the one you perform.
Helen Reddy with a twist. So, I give you birth, salt of the earth. I shine my light so you can see your worth. You put me last, but I place you first. With me you'll never hunger. With me you'll never thirst. I am woman. I am woman, hear me roar. Women are the ones we've been waiting for. We're here to make peace, not to fight your wars. Rise up, wise women, what you waiting for? Here's the truth about women, so get in where you fit in. So listen up, I'm gonna start from the beginning. Eve ate the apple and it opened her eyes. They say she ran with demons, but she makes me wise. Never trust the devil, he's the father of lies. Women claim your power, no compromise. Mary said yes, and she bore us a son. No longer living in darkness, yeah, the curse is undone. Where in the world would we be without women? Keepers of tradition, receptacles of wisdom. We're on a mission, running with a vision. Truth is never hidden, dancing to our own rhythm. A nurturer, provider, a healer, chastiser. Used to be your secretary, now your supervisor. We're rising to the top, no wheeling and dealing. Gonna climb up the ladder, kick off the glass ceiling. We're elevating, got no time for all your drama. First black woman in the White House, Michelle Obama. I am woman, hear me roar. Women are the ones we've been waiting for. We're here to make peace, not to fight your wars. Rise up, wise women, what you waiting for? Where would a man be without a woman or a spouse? She can roar like a lion or sit quiet as a church mouse. Calm all your fears and erase your doubts. I pray that I will live to see a woman run the White House. She gave birth to Rosa Wood and back the bus. Paved the way of freedom and justice for the rest of us. She gave us Sojourner and she was the truth. Can't forget the struggle, gotta tell it to our youth. Sojourner and Harriet broke the bonds of slavery. Fought for women's rights, now honor for their bravery. Serena and Venus, can't put nothing between us. Katherine Johnson, mathematical genius. Can't forget Oprah, a billionaire. Used to be on welfare, now her name is known everywhere. Never do it halfway, overworked, underpaid. Never gonna fade away, slaying like Beyonce. Okay ladies, now let's get information. But we cannot forget about those everyday celebrities. Source of my identity, always taking care of me. Mama, big mama, best friend, sister, auntie. Rolling with integrity, bringing out the best in me. We extend a welcome mat, but we're not your doormat. Don't need to wear a hard hat or go into combat. Womb full, no bull, belly flat. Show me a man that can stomach and deliver that.
There we go. There we go.
I didn't think so. So rise up, beautiful women, hold your head up high. God knows you and she loves you. You're the apple of her eye. An inferior race, please don't believe the lie. We used to be a chrysalis, now a winged butterfly. Ooh, I am woman, hit me roar. Women are the ones we've been waiting for. We're here to make peace, not to fight your wars. Rise up, wise women, what you waiting for? I am woman, hit me roar. Women are the ones we've been waiting for. We're here to make peace, not to fight your wars. Rise up, wise women, what you waiting for? That's it.
There we go. There we go. I loved it. I love the beat. I love the poetry. When you're creating, does the word come first or does the music come first?
The words.
And then you hear the music.
Feel the music. Yeah.
How long have you been writing for? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That piece actually came. I was commissioned to write that piece. We do my the nonprofit
Come close to the mic.
Nonprofit organization. We do a performance each year in Upper Marlboro, and the woman said, this year our theme, we always do it thematically, the theme was women. I'm thinking, I don't have a poem about women, so I have a poem about mothers, but none about women. And so it was Black History Month, and so I sprinkled in some stuff about, Black culture, but that's where that particular piece came from. But normally the words come first, and then I put the music. And then I have a phenomenal producer, Nair Asiama, my niece. She produced my CD, and she puts the music behind the drums, and that's,
Is this your first CD?
It definitely is my first CD.
So how long did it take you to create it?
You know what? This is so interesting because we did it in my basement. She has this stuff up, and we put the sound up. She's incredible. She's actually studying audio engineering right now in Chicago. She took a break. I'm so depressed because I'm ready to, do my second one. And we call her Big Mama. Big Mama's not here to do that affectionately. Actually, she was born the year my grandmother died, and she has my grandmother's energy. It's like the transition was so smooth. Grandma died, and Naya was born. It's like we call her Old Lady and Big Mama because she definitely has that energy and that spirit. But she's a phenomenal musician, producer. She does a lot, and she's like this. Very humble, but she's very powerful. So
that's
I miss her.
That's a musician thing.
Yeah.
Because you're always internally in your head.
She is, yes.
That's awesome. So the theme of this first piece, your first album, what was the theme of it?
It's called Medicinal Music on a Mission, because in my experience, music is medicine. And it's not, when I teach drumming, I talk about sending our words on a mission. You send your notes on a mission. You don't put anything out into the universe randomly. It has intention, it has purpose. So when you're speaking and when you're playing, you're communicating.
Right.
And so it's not just idle notes lying around kind of limp. You're just like sending them on a mission. And the mission of drummetry is to heal. So every piece I've ever written has something to do with healing, not only for myself, and I try to make my themes universal, so it's not just specific to my story. But I mean, if you think of the human condition, we are all essentially the same. We can argue that till the cows come home, but fundamentally speaking, we are all the same. We experience the same types of emotions, and so something that I may have gone through, someone else can relate to that. And so I try to write from my own perspective. I try to make it universal so that everyone else can feel that.
It's just based off your experience and what you know to be true. Not necessarily what is truth, but your experience that allows you to emote those things into how they come out is normally the difference. And the feelings are essentially the same. It's just how you take them outside of yourself or you deal with them. But that's something that I have a lot of women friends in the art and a lot of male friends, and that's always an argument. And a lot of my women friends, I tell them we're no different. Like, we've been told that we can't be like you, but we have different parts, but we're the same people. And they all even those parts came from the same place. You can find them. It's like in religion. I may not practice this religion this way, but if you really pay attention, we're doing the same thing. We just doing them in different ways. But we gotta create the similarities in us and find those instead of what makes us different, because everybody is so individual.
That is, I think, in my experience, in my life experience, that is it. And healing comes from that. The more that we can separate ourselves, we set up these false dichotomies, us, them, you, me. They're created. They don't exist outside of our creation. We have to make that. But at the same level, the same energy that we take to create the separation, we can use that same energy to bring us together. And I get lambasted sometimes because my message is always love. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have places in me of anger, and it was ignited. I saw this past week, and I'm a non-TV, well, everyone knows me, I don't watch TV. I've not totally, I sometimes unplug from a lot of things because
it's too much.
I'm introverted, and so I get my energy from inside here. But I happen to, and everything happens for a reason. I don't call it coincidence. It's called God incidents. I stole that from one of my colleagues at Loyola. But I saw something called LA 92 this weekend.
Was it a documentary?
Oh, yeah. Nat Geo, National Geographic. It took me to a place that was. I was like, God, what do I do with this? If you have to, I was
What's the name of it again?
LA 92. And it's based on the Rodney King 92, Los Angeles, the riots.
Oh,
that
and I
thing
thought
was
they called it something else.
It took me somewhere.
Yeah.
And I had to actually find a place to put that. I prayed about it because anger is real and it's a healthy emotion, but it needs expression. And so, I sat with it and wrestled with it. Because I remember when I was in junior high school, I date myself because it's no longer called junior high school. I had a teacher named Miss Walsh. I will never forget her. I loved her. She was a white woman. I loved her. Never knew anything about. See, race wasn't it wasn't in my face when I was little. I saw roots. I went to school. I hated every white person on the planet. I don't care.
And that's it was a natural feeling.
And I wasn't prepared. The thing is, there was no preparation for that. Where do you put that?
And when it first came out, it just was
a miniseries,
but it was. And a lot of people have told me, like my mother and hers, like watching that on a daily basis because it came on. Was it once a week? It came on.
You know what? I can't remember.
I think
I'm
came
sure
on
someone
once
out
a
there
week.
knows. It just.
But she said it just like to keep coming back.
Yeah, and there was no processing of it.
Right.
There was no place for me to put that.
There was no preparation
for
it.
Or the process. No one talked. We were just. That just carried it. And I used to wear yarn, and she would pull my yarn. It was a ritual we had. I'm like, don't touch me. Yeah. Of course, it took time to heal that. Now I don't feel that, but sometimes things like LA Night, it triggered something in me, and I'm thinking, wow. But I say all that to say I always, no matter how far I get out there, I always go back to a place of love. And it's not even conscious. Sometimes I'm like, God, really? You really want me to love this situation? But it forces you. It forces me back to that place.
I call it, and you have to understand what your prayers are and what you actually prayed for, because we thought we was praying for this thing over here, but you asked for patience. And it manifests itself in just being calm through the fire. And you like, what is wrong with me? You pray for patience. And this is what happens.
That's
like, no matter what is going on, you have an even keel spirit about it. And that happened to me. And I don't want to say so much was revealed to me when I turned 30, but it felt like in that moment, everything that I had, every mistake that I made, everything that I had done and had happened to me, all of it came to the surface at that one moment at 30. And it was like, I was like, I can't take this. Like, I really couldn't. I got a really horrible health scare. And I remember I wanted to cry. Like I wanted to cry, and I was sitting on my bed. I came home from the doctors. I was sitting there, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna cry. And the phone rung, distracted me from the tears. By the few moments I was on the phone, I was like, okay, now I'm about to cry again, and it wouldn't happen. And I had prayed for that type of discernment, and just a peace. I pray, and then it happens, and you don't understand what's going on, but you forgot the words that you prayed.
That's right.
And when you ask for something, you have to be very specific, because once it comes out of your mouth, that's exactly what you're going to get.
Good point.
And you have to be very, very conscious of how you word your prayers, because you're going to get exactly what you asked for. And I've just, sometimes it takes so much. It always took so much for me to get angry, but now it's like climbing a hill that just won't end. And I'm sitting there like, so something about to happen, because this is too peaceful. Yeah. Like, you
but
just
that's a gift,
content.
Though. That's the gift. But I think for me also, how quickly I return to baseline, because the anger that's one thing in my past. I used to suppress my emotions as a psychologist, believe that or not. I used to stuff everything because it was painful. But now, you allow it, give it room to breathe, give it space. Okay, I'm angry. You would let that be, but then you don't live there. And so I could return to baseline, and they start thinking things like, wow, the guy who recorded that was a white guy. So it's like, well, how do you, and then like, if you think about the civil rights movements, how many white people help us, and it's not like a rationalization, it's the truth. Because we always want to pigeonhole, we say, well, these people are like this and these are like that, but they're all,
I think what has to happen is those individuals need to speak out. And it was crazy because the last couple years, things have been starting to happen where they're being videotaped, and people can't say that it didn't happen. They can't say that as people of color, we're overreacting. We're seeing it. This is not like there's no editing. This is somebody's cell phone, and you're seeing it happen and play out constantly. You're seeing these people being tried and then not convicted. You're seeing everything is publicized. Everything is on social media. Everything is being filmed. So you can't say, and I saw like snippets of that Rodney King. So it was reactions from then to now.
Yes.
Where were you?
That was it. That was it.
People who didn't know anything about, what was your reaction to seeing this? And at that time, what we see now, that was like an isolated moment. We never got to see that around the world.
That's right.
Now that's a daily thing.
Yeah, it's the norm now.
People are seeing this for the first time. It's jarring. This can't possibly be happening. Right. So people just turned it off. Mentally in their head, they turned it off. So
you desensitize yourself.
Right. So now on a daily basis, we're seeing these Rodney King-esque occurrences, and you're so like I have not had a TV on in my apartment in almost 2 years because I can't do it. Like you on social media, you're on, and it's like the news has become a reality show. Yeah, it's not news. It's like so sensationalized that you become, somebody that has ADD. Like you just, you're overload, sensory overload, and it doesn't take much anymore. Right. Your emotions, as soon as somebody posts something on social media, your emotions are already fired up. You don't know any facts. You don't know any backstory. You just saw the headline and you reacted to it.
That's very true.
And we're so, even something as ridiculous as a man wearing a romper, it just incites stuff in you. Like, it's stuff that's inside of you already, and everything that start coming out. And your opinions and... I watch a lot of Netflix and stuff like that because I like the documentaries, but like regular, I can't do it. It's too much. News, definitely not. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here. Say your name again, Dr.
Dorothy Adamson Holley, a.k.a. Drum Doctor
Drum Doctor Dot.
If you need a clue, it's kind of right here.
Right. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BigExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My name is Ruth Rusey. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to...
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the radio loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio Loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Check out this flashback from It Is What It Is radio show.
Paul he was chilling. He was doing his thing. Y'all, you feel me? Love y'all family. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like for him to be taken away from you, snatched away from you, just like that. You feel me? It's like damn. Another good one gone. You know what I'm saying? Like why you taking the good? You know what I'm saying?
You always end up asking like why.
And like again, it's a lesson that it's a test of faith. You feel me? Gonna take you through these tests. You feel me? You're gonna go through these little phases in life, yo. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you just gotta recognize that one, it's the adversary trying to knock you off your pivot. And then it's God trying to teach you something. You feel me? Right. Anything that you go through, you gonna get through. It's called going through. You feel me? That's why it's called going through. You going through something. Right. You feel me? Because after you go through it, you get through it. You look back on it like, damn, I got through that. You feel what I'm saying?
For this and more, be sure to tune into BeExposedRadio.com every Friday from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. to listen to more of It Is What It Is radio show.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, what's up, and welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. We have another piece from Drum Dr. Dot.
Woo-hoo.
I got it.
This piece is called It's All Good in the Hood, and it actually can be found on my CD called Drumetry, Medicinal Music on a Mission. It's one to demonize the hood. We say, oh, the hood is bad, but this kind of redeems it, takes it out of the shadows.
It's people. They're people.
That's right. We are all people, and I came from there. So, and actually there's a part that you have to play. When I'll give you the cue, you have to say, it's all good in the hood.
There we go.
It's all good in the hood. So many things in the hood just make me laugh. I can't get a chicken box and a half and half. I'm doing me and I ain't worried about the aftermath.
It's all good in the hood.
Got to get your hustle on, cause you showed on your fun. Standing on the corner hollering, got them loose ones. Saw 5-0 and ran cause you had a stun gun.
It's all good in the hood.
It's the heat of the summer and you're rocking Timbs. Rolling around in a whip with 24-inch rims. Bought $1 sweet tea and filled it to the brim.
It's all good in the hood.
There are things in the hood just make me smile, like having 3 baby showers for your third born child when baby moms and baby fathers walk down the aisle.
It's all good in the hood.
There are things in the hood just make me mad, like spending all your money on the latest fad. It's like Christmas every month when you get your check, but when it comes to paying bills you can't come correct. Selling the stamps to put food on your table, trying to get a hooker for some bootleg cable, claiming you can't work when you know you're able.
It's all good in the hood.
On YouTube for 30 seconds of fame, got the light bill put in your daughter's name. Now her credit's jacked up and you're to blame.
It's all good in the hood.
There are things in the hood that burn me to the bone. Try to find your baby daddy whereabouts unknown. They got the job so you can't get a payday loan. Burned up all the minutes on your 4 free phones. Got furniture you rent but you will never own.
It's all good in the hood.
Can't afford a cab so you catch a hack. Got pulled over cause your skin is black. They try to keep you down but you bounce right back.
It's all good in the hood.
Hustlers sling, sell fake bling on the boulevard named after Dr. Martin Luther King. There are things in the hood just make me proud. Folks in the hood ain't scared to live out loud. We ain't jumping off the buildings cause the market crash. We learn to live each day as if it was the last. Yeah, there might be some things that I might lack, but when I see a brother down, yo, I got your back. Cause everybody in the hood ain't smoking crack.
It's all good in the hood.
Chillin', stuntin', maxin' and flossin' in Philly, Atlanta, Chi-Town, and Compton. There's a lot of love in the hood, but life ain't easy. Detroit, South Central, Baltimore, and D.C.
It's all good in the hood.
So when you bust up in the hood, you better come correct. And if you don't, near the show to put your butt in check. Because folks in the hood just demand respect.
It's all good in the hood.
I'm trying to put you down. I hope it's understood that when it comes to life up in the hood,
it's all good in the hood.
It's all good. Thank you.
I love that. So do you do workshops for adults and children? Okay.
We do. My sister and I, our nonprofit, we do workshops for adults and kids.
So what do you, is this more art therapy or you're just teaching the talent of what you have?
It depends. Well, we do a lot of therapy. A lot of our stuff that we do now, we do some entertainment, but we do stuff to help people to heal. So that's what Nami and T is about. So we facilitate rhythmic healing circles. That's a powerful thing where we have a lot of people, different percussive instruments. We've done it most recently at Stella Maris for Camp Me Too. I'll give them a plug. Wonderful. For kids who have lost someone, bereavement camp, we'll be doing something with Roberta's house coming up. You know, so just helping people to get what is in them out. Because when I was working with teens, and actually when I work with anyone, a lot of times the pain that we have is so deep that it defies words. There's no words for it. But when you start to drum, when you dance, you can feel that come through you. It frees you up. All the tight, pent-up energy and frustration that you had, it gets released through playing, and it gets released through singing.
It's like when
dance.
When a limb is cut off, you just learn to live like that. Like eventually you learn
adapt.
how to adapt to
You
it.
do.
And pain and suffering cannot be adapted because it will only grow and fester.
That's right.
And I went to therapy once in my life, and I don't regret going because it showed me something. It told me that therapy is nothing more that you're not a musician. I mean, a magician. You don't know magic or anything. You're helping me to organize my thoughts. That's it. Yep. That's the basis of it. And it's probably on your end, it's a lot more complicated than that. But as the receiver of it, the patient, the client, I am having my thoughts organized so I can learn and I can be in the driver's seat and I can learn how to maneuver. And I had a lot of stuff from my childhood that I had went through. And I remember going to a therapist, and I love this lady because she wasn't the best. I found out more about her than she found out about me.
Of course. We're human, though.
Right.
We're human.
And I respected that because
we're human.
Right. I realized it was something wrong with her, things that she hadn't dealt with, but it made what I was going through feel not so much normal, but I didn't feel alone.
Right.
Because she had definitely a lot of issues based on things that I had brought up. And it helped me to realize, one, some stuff wasn't over. I wasn't over stuff. Sure. I told her a story about my great-grandmother passing away while I was home. And I thought I had detached myself from that story. But and I had never told it before. And this was probably like 15 years later when I was turned 30. And as I was telling the story, the tears were were coming down as much as they were the day of. And I was like, that still hurts like that?
What a gift. That's all I can say.
And I was telling these stories, and it was still hurting as if it was that moment again. And it was in my mind, I'm crying, but in my mind I'm like, man, I thought I was over this. And I was getting choked up, and I was like, what's going on? But I like the fact that art, specifically music, has the ability to clean us out.
Yes, it does.
We go to our favorite Mary J. Blige or Roberta Flack, or we go to that song that helps us get over stuff. And I'm one of them people. I have songs that I know to go to when you're going through certain things, and you go to that song and it purges you. And you don't realize what you're doing, but you naturally are trying to heal yourself.
And an analogy is rhythm does the same thing, that certain drum piece or pattern that you play. For me, music is so powerful because for me, just speaking personally, when I play a drum, drumming bypasses all intellectual processes. Right. It's a feeling thing. So it's in here. It's not here. It's interesting when we teach Europeans and they always want to know. It's no disrespect. I want to write it down. What are the notes? We don't teach. I don't know. Go here, because once you go in your head, you've lost it. You can't drum from your head. You have to drum from your
like
soul.
Like it's a pattern in my hand.
Yeah, it's like, but I can appreciate that because learning, you know, we all need a ground. Right. We need a foundation. But if you can allow yourself to let that go, get out of the way, the rhythm is inside of you. It's trying to come out, but we're blocking it by thinking about it. Just allow it to freely move through you, and that's how you. But that's chills.
Art in general. Like you can learn the foundation, the 101 of it all, the 101 of it all. But it's not until you're actually in the moment that it happens to you. As an actor, I don't like to cry. And I hate doing replacement crying where I think about something that will make me cry.
Help me understand what replacement crying is.
Well, so the moment is happening here, but you are recalling something that would make you cry like that.
Okay, that's
so, and it happens. I don't like doing that. Because you might bring up something that you can't control, but as an actor, you're supposed to learn to control it. I don't like doing that because you might get me the rest of the play in tears because I've recalled something that made me feel like that. And you can't always let stuff like that go, especially if you've never dealt with it.
Sure, that's the
you
key.
Don't have you don't have control over it.
Yeah.
But I like how music can calm you, can rev you up, can do whatever is necessary depending on what you're listening to and your involvement in it. And I like the fact that especially musicians, most musicians have a lot of stuff going on in their life, but you see them in their moment of performance and everything. Like a lot of singers say, I'm at my best when I'm on stage or I'm in front of an audience, especially the ones that you hear. Like one of my favorite singers, she's very young, but Fantasia, like you hear so much of her
story and her
voice,
voice.
And the stuff that she's
pain.
currently going through, stuff that she probably try to be cute with a good run, but you can hear it. And in certain singers and musicians, you can hear it come through them. And it's they've learned how to make it pretty, but they can't hide the reality. Like nobody can get to that point with a pattern. You can't create a pattern to that. It has to be, you have to have gone through that or know how to recall that sensory recall of that moment. And I love the arts for that reason because you can just tap into something and you can choose to heal yourself however deep you dig into it, but it already creates this foundation for you to then move forward from. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
My name is Ruth Rusey. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org.
And only Be Inspired radio show. So, since we're talking about the book, can you give people a synopsis of what the book is and what what's the name of the book again, and then what it's about?
The name of the book is From Trial to Afflictions. More than one, because there were more than one afflictions.
Yes.
The book is talking about, actually, it's my life story. And I have to add in there that when that prophet told me, he said, tell your story, write the story. He said, and God said, tell your addiction. Now, see, I'm not going to tell the addiction because you have to get the book to read it. But it was about deliverance. Mm-hmm. It was about all the, trials and tribulations we go through. People that come into our life, even people that come to try and break you down or draw you down so that you can't stand for God or worship Him through your situation, because that's the adversary using them. We have to know that.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Wrong with me not being able to do it, but just being in the presence of people who were at that point, because this was a year later for me, and I still couldn't do. I was still having dreams. I was still having, but the arts definitely for me have always been a place to heal.
That's a place, definite. Oh my goodness.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. It's me, your host, Nate. We're here a little bit earlier today. Like I said, I have a play to go to at 8 today, so I'm doing double duty, but I love it. And before me, I have Miss Dorothy, Dr. Dot.
Yes.
There we go. I got it. She is on here. She's been playing a few songs. I met her at the Poets for Dinner. Poets for Dinner. Their radio show is Poets for Brunch. But their show is Poets for Dinner. They have it at the end of every month. Come on now. You may hear a little bit more.
Yes, I will be
Drunk
there.
Dr. Dot.
I will be there.
This is Woman Hear Me Roar. Is that
I Am Woman.
I Am Woman.
Yes.
I love that. Just the rhythm of it. My friend, her son was the baby that was dancing.
Oh, yeah,
and
I remember him.
For him to get up and dance, he really liked it. But I love drums. I own a pair of bongos, but I never play them. I don't
bring them out.
That was the one instrument that I never tried, but I love drums. It's
in there.
I just love it. At some point, every now and again I'll walk past it and it's hidden. It's on my bookshelf. But I've always admired any individual that can play the drum, because it's not something that you can learn the scales or you can. I mean, you can write in drum music, but every drummer I know always listens to what is going on. Right. They'll look at the music and know how to read it, but they're listening and watching the action that's happening. And they always know how to play under what's going on.
Yes.
So I always watch drummers do that, from church to the chorus and the play, the orchestra pit.
Yeah.
They have to watch a show.
Yes.
And then they won't come to a few rehearsals, and then they'll come back to that rehearsal and they have it. And
speaking of which, I just joined a group. I have to plug Roses and Rust. That's my favorite local band. Roses and Rust, Anna, Nate, Russ Causey. That's the acoustic. I just joined their band. We had a gig
What's the name
last
of
night.
it?
Roses and Rust. R-U-S-T.
Roses and Rust.
Roses
Okay.
and Rust. Very phenomenal. Quiet as it's kept. I'm a phenomenal classic rock fan. I love. That's one of my favorite genres.
What's
of
your favorite
music.
band?
Ooh, too many to pick. Pink Floyd. I mean, going way back. Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, Cream. I mean, I have not, like Elton John. We sang some Steve Perry last night. That is Journey. We did a tune.
You have to
last
listen
night.
to their lyrics in rock music because people
that's what
often
attracts
equate
me
it
too.
to satanic
No.
worship.
Are you
But if
talking about
listen
heavy
to-
metal? I'm talking about classic rock. That's the more, the
Well,
words are meaningful.
But even if you the sound.
I don't feel Satan. I don't feel
No,
Satan.
but I'm just saying.
okay.
A lot of people who aren't fans of that music equate the noise of it because you can't always make out what they're saying. But if you listen to the lyrics, they're like singing gospel music almost.
Yes, phenomenal. And speaking of healing, the lead singer Anna, when she sang, we had a rehearsal on Tuesday, and I'm supposed to be playing. We're singing Carnival. The song is phenomenal, and I got so wrapped up in the music, I missed every key. I'm supposed to we harmonized it. No, this wasn't a performance, a rehearsal.
Right.
And Russ is kicking me with his feet like, drum doctor, wake up. Sometimes a voice can take you. It took me out of the room. I was totally somewhere. This particular song, Natalie Merchant does it, but she does a cover. We do a cover of that song, and that song it just does something. It gets in there, and I was gone. I was totally transported. I have no idea where I was. I was away from them in that moment. And he had to kick me to come, listening to her, that voice, and how it was. And I'm playing, but I was supposed to come in with the harmony, and I was nowhere. And I'm like, oh, really? I forgot I'm supposed to be here.
My friend Christian sings like that, and she has a very unique voice in that she sounds like Phyllis Hyman, where her voice is more of an instrument than it is a voice.
That's a good point.
And I don't care when she's singing, and it just stopped me in rehearsal. And she's singing in the play, and I'm sitting there, and I naturally yesterday, this in character, I was like, sing, Christian. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And they were like, everybody looked at me, but I was in the moment of hearing her sing. Because when you can manipulate your voice in that way where it's almost an instrument, I
love that analogy.
Give us a black person a good song and we done.
Race of Holley, I'll plug her too. She's this girl's a beast. She needs to go professional, but that's my plug. She's very phenomenal to sing anything.
Those people don't ever
tell me. Please tell.
I'll be dying for those types of
put it
arrangements.
out there. Put your voice out there. It's healing.
Is it anything that you want to try as an artist that you haven't yet done or you haven't really developed?
I actually want to. I want to learn to read music.
Okay.
Not for drumming, but just in general. For example, the band I'm in now, they'll say, "Oh, this is in the tune of the key of A or something." They spit out all these things.
Right.
I'm loving it because I get to learn. So I'm very fascinated with. I did take a guitar based on Nair, my producers. I took a guitar class, and my life is so overwhelmed, and I couldn't keep up with it. It was good though. I got the the basics, and then I took harmonica, a blues harmonica, all that Catonsville.
The
Essex,
music
so
store,
those things. Yeah, they're free. Well, not free, but they're non-credit courses.
Right.
And I delve into stuff, and I'm trying to learn how to read. And so the harmonica that taught me, you see the notes how to play. Oh, this is C, this is A. That's what I want to learn. So if anyone out there can,
an ear,
I have an ear. I definitely have an
ear. It makes it easier, but it is like brain surgery.
I want to learn though. That's my goal.
Because you have to, your ear can pick up the change. But you have to be able to recognize it like that.
Right.
And your ear is constantly, it's like coding, but for your ear.
Okay.
And it definitely, I tried it a little bit in high school and in college. Being in the chorus, I would always ask questions. Right. And I can hear it, but for me, like even singing, I muscle memory. So I'll know how this sound came out, and I don't know how I did it, but I just remember getting there. That's the key, and then I know how to do that structurally with my face and my mouth. But you can hear, if you have an ear, then you will be able to hear the chords and the changes.
That's the goal now. I think it'll flesh me out as an artist. It'll make me more rounded. Yeah. Because I love music, but I want to know what I want to be able to look at a piece of music and sing it or play it. You know, not the drum, but something. I need to know how to read.
And it's not a knock to any of my HBCUs, but if you go to Towson, they have a music theory there, and you hear it. You hear it, and their professors are. I sit in on a friend's class, and my head was hurting, and I was like, "How do you do that?" And it's almost like coding. When you're trying to separate the different notes from the chords and the sharps and the flats.
Yeah, I'm hungry for that. I'm starving for that.
And what helped me a little bit was I took piano classes as a child, so you learn
that.
It
there, yes, you do.
You learn it
Any
there.
Any instrument you learn, well, not drumming per se, because I don't want it there, but.
But like the piano is normally like the central
scales, and people usually start with keyboard or piano.
That's how you normally hear the sound. Because the sounds are always different depending on what instrument. Like you can play music on a drum, but you'll hear it differently if you start from the piano. It's like the central. For me, and a lot of people that I've been told about, is a central instrument. So it gets everything else in tune.
Maybe that's where I'll start.
And it's just, again, I wish I used to skip. I took free classes at Peabody, and I would skip class go over. My teacher in middle school, she was a teacher there, and I went to school at St. Ignatius, and I remember skipping class to go to 7-Eleven and go sit at the museum across the street from it. And I don't know why I did that, but I love looking at paintings more than I did learning the piano.
That's why you did it. That's pretty obvious to me.
But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live on BeExposedRadio.com. We'll be right back.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Check out this flashback. If someone says that more money may create more problems for us who don't have a lot of money, we said, nah, that'll never be me. And when we look at the statement that's made by those who are making over 6 figures, millionaires, I dare say billionaires, we wonder, how is it that more money can cause more problems? Well, I can kind of understand how that may be the situation if the money that you have is not going towards things that are of a worthy cause. And that looks how you perceive it to be. If you feel like money should make you free, but after making more money, it traps you towards these things that will cause you to have to get more money to feel like you're free, then that's a vicious cycle that someone I can understand will not necessarily feel like they're the benefactor of. So take a look at the money that you already have. And if the money that you have is going to where it needs to go, then money becomes that tool that you need to have an ends to a means when it comes to your necessities in life.
You can catch me Thursdays from 8 to 10 on the Denasha Harrison Show on BigExposedRadio.com.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, welcome back. I was on the phone, sorry. This is me, your host, Nate. We're here a little bit earlier. We are here with Drum Dr. Dot.
You betting 1,000 on that.
I am. Once I get it, I got it. We're here, and she's sharing her story. She's telling us who she is and how she does what she does. And you are a clinical psychiatrist.
No, you
did I say it?
No.
I said it wrong?
I'm a developmental psychologist.
And
I got clinical
the P right.
social worker.
The P. I got clinical. I just mixed them up.
You mixed them up.
Where did that come from when you had all this artistry in you? Because that's a lot of reading, that's a lot of writing.
Yeah, I started in the field of social work. Actually, I started as a teacher many moons ago. Again, I taught junior. I admired my teachers so much for growing up, but I wanted to be a teacher. So I was an English teacher from Millisecond.
Middle school?
Calverton Junior High. Wasn't middle. Calverton. Oh God, I didn't last for.
And testosterone.
Oh my goodness, it was a lot. But I think the most disappointing part was I rarely got to teach. It was a lot of disciplining and like, for example, you would send a child to the principal, they send them right back, and I will say some other practices. I think we're live, so I'm not going to talk about all of that. And then I got a job working at the state of Maryland. It was a quote-unquote dead-end job. I say that probably shouldn't say it that way, but it was a contractual position with nowhere to move. And they had a job fair, and the School of Social Work came, and when I learned that you didn't have to write a thesis, I'm like, sign me up. So I went to social work school. It bit me later, because when I went to get my doctorate, they made me do a thesis, a master's on the way. Even though I had a master's, they made me do a master's on the way to getting a doctorate, because I had never written a thesis. So that worked out well. But I started there, and
what side of was you on? Were you on the administrative side or
side of what?
You were saying you went into I'm sorry, the word just jumped out of my head. But you went into what did you just say?
Social work.
But what side of it was you on?
Clinical, not
okay.
administration,
okay.
Not at all. Clinical social work, and then after I graduated, I was a little bit bored, and I'm like, I want to go back to school. So I went to school to study psychology.
But you weren't working with people. It was more.
I was at the Kennedy Krieger Institute working
with
chronically. Well, actually, first it was Crossroads. They don't exist anymore. I was working with the chronically mentally ill, and then I went to Kennedy Krieger and was working there. And after 2 years, the obligatory 2 years, you work under a licensed clinician, and you can sit for the licensing exam. And I did that. And after 2 years, I'm like, is this all? I have to preface this by saying I am a perpetual student. I love learning. Yeah. I got it after my doctorate. I went to Loyola, got something in spirituality. I just love to learn and grow.
And it all connects with what you do.
It's all related. And it's all healing. It's all a part. My practice, when I had my private practice, it was multicultural, holistic multicultural adjunct to traditional treatment. So exactly. I know it's a mouthful, but all this falls under everything. To me, is about healing.
Did you know that while you were doing it, or were you?
No, of course not.
I'm searching for.
Of course. I think my theory, and I'm not the first person to say that, a lot of people who are attracted to the profession of psychology, social work, psychiatry, are trying to heal ourselves. And I think that was my story.
Looking for answers.
Yes, I came from a lot of pain, and I was healing that. And then you talk about therapy. I had a phenomenal therapist. She got in there. I mean, it was tough. It was hard. And a lot of my poetry grew out of that. Like the poem that I did that night called I Love Me. There was a time when I did not love myself. And it took a long time, but it wasn't until I learned that God loved me that I could love myself unconditionally. So it took me, and as a therapist, I was out there practicing as a clinician. I was like, Lord, help me. And I had hit she called it a developmental opportunity. You know, we call it a developmental crisis or midlife crisis. But it was like when you were talking about your 30s, I called it a gift because I learned to recognize it as a gift. Because when you are broken at that level, and I had shed everything, I let go of everything. I left the church. I mean, my family thought I was crazy. One sister, rest her soul, she's deceased now. She said she thought that I was a devil because the devil had me thinking I have to go to church. It was deep. I mean, I was in the abyss.
But I just posted.
I was in the abyss.
I was talking to my co-host actually, and we just met each other, but it just seemed like it was the right time for both of us. And I noticed a pattern. A lot of people were walking away, or I was pushing individuals. He was like, sometimes you can't take everybody with you, and sometimes you have to be in that isolation to really quiet all the voices so you can hear your own.
Absolutely. And God's voice. That's the voice I needed to hear. I'd put everything down, all books. I was just like, God. And you know how people say, oh, the pastor got a word for God. I said, God, if you got something to say to me, tell me directly. I'm here right now. I don't want to hear no other intermediaries.
Anytime you hear something from somebody else, it should be confirmation of what you already heard.
Right.
And we're looking for somebody to, did he talk to you? No, he should have talked to you first. You just didn't hear that whisper.
Right.
And
that still
missed the
small
message,
voice.
but
that still small voice. And so once I healed, and I'm still on the path, but once a lot of that stuff got cleared away, that's when the creativity was freed. Because I was using all that energy to hold back all that feeling. All that energy was tied up in all that stuff that I was carrying, that it had no time, had no space, had no energy to do the creative work. But once the healing started to come to, oh my goodness, I started writing, and I started, everything was just out here now.
Right.
It was no longer, using all this energy to hold it all in and to heal myself.
Because we try to control it.
That's the word. Control is an illusion. It's an illusion. We're never in control.
Yeah, we try to our best to control it and to make it do what it is that we want it to do.
Right.
And for some reason, for me, that pivotal moment of turning 30, it was like 4 years ago now, but it was the most important moment in my life because I learned how to let go. I learned how to use the word no, not just learn the word no, but I learned how and when to use no. And it still took me a couple years. I just started using it in the last year or so. And you sit on a lot of stuff, and you have to get out there and do it no matter what it takes, no matter what it does, the reaction. You have to get out there and be who it is that you are here to be.
Indeed.
And I have this passion in me to help young black men out because we have this narrative that we've been told, and we now believe that we are these boxed creatures. And I'm not talking about sexuality or complexion or none of those things, but what is it to be a man? Like, we have all these lists of things of what not to do, so much so that we don't know what we can do, and we don't know how to really function in a world. And there are a lot of men out here that are living in depression, and we are covering it up with bravado and super hyper masculinity and getting into trouble. And most times when we receive the help we need, we're where you working at now.
Case in point, where I work at Central Booking, I've seen some of the most broken men, but on the outside it's the bravado. But you have to understand that it's a tough exterior. And the image I had when I worked with teenagers, why I did so well with them is that every child I saw, no matter how much they cursed, no matter how much they threw a chair across the room, I held an image of them. There was an egg, a fragile egg inside that they're trying to protect. And so you can't show any vulnerability, especially at that. And even men, they will come in your room and they will cry out to you, literal tears. But when they have to stiffen up when they go back into, population. But the pain is there. The pain is very real. But we don't give men an opportunity or space, emotional space to just allow them to be. Allow them to feel.
As a man,
it's in there.
Many men that I walk across, and Erica probably said to you, many men that I'll ask, what's wrong with you? And I do it for a reason, because I know, not necessarily I can see something wrong with you, but you never know when that opportunity that you have to just open up. Because I know what that feels like, not knowing who to trust. If you say this, Nate, but you just never have a chance to let your guard down. We gotta take another break.
And I will invite you to ask them also what's right with you.
Right.
Ask them that too.
Right. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. These 2 hours are flying by.
Too short.
We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Talk dirty to me. I love it. It's awesome. It's all my business going every day.
Hey everybody, this is your girl, the one and only Thick Cows. Check us out every Saturday from 5 to 7, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Oh, recently? Yeah. I was talking about overall. No, two. That was Uber. That wasn't Uber.
Yeah.
That wasn't. Yeah, that was Uber.
That situation with Uber, I think you told us about.
But this guy, my whole thing is pay attention. I don't know if this dude was trying to get home or something, but he was speeding. Now I'm with the flow, like do your thing. But when you taking me out of my way and you speeding. Little suspect. Trying to get my butt. Like the Clemson guy from the Ohio State game. Trying to.
What?
Yes. Now, he picked me up from my job, right? And I'm telling him where to go. He refused not to go. And you're speeding. So I'm thinking, this is me. I'm in the back seat. He's speeding. I'm like, he trying to take me in an alley somewhere, Really? And so I'm a little uncomfortable. So I'm noticing. I'm looking at the GPS. It's telling him to go this way. He's going this way, and I'm like, wait a minute, you taking me out of my way. I know I curse like a sailor, but
I do too.
There's sometimes you just don't curse. And this one time was that. Hey, look, y'all. I'm only going by what the GPS, yo. No real shit.
Oh. What? Oh,
real shit.
Okay, I quit.
Oh. Like real shit? Really?
Wow.
Say you cussing?
Wow.
Trying to get my butt?
Oh.
Yeah, this the man that holds it down. Mr. Showtime, D the Boss. Check us out. Every Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Be Exposed Radio.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
You're listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Talk dirty to me.
I love it. It's awesome. It's all my gets me going every day.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live United. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And guys really go through that. And it's something in me, it has like a pull in me to like find a way to, how can we fix this? Because it's never too late, but for guys...
Well, it was reported, though, right? You know I'm a mandated reporter. That was reported, right?
Yeah, it was reported. It was reported.
Don't tell me that. I'm a bit like...
No, it was somebody, it wasn't even attached to family or friends.
Oh, okay.
It was a random person. But it definitely, it taught me how to express myself. You know, going through life that way, it teaches you how to express yourself, but I'm not afraid to show vulnerability, but you just know you can't trust everybody with it. So you find outlets and safe spaces. Yes. So it really, so the pastor that I have now, you have to find places to get it out. And most times artists put it into their work. They put that pain into their work, but you have not just putting it in your work because that doesn't do anything with your pain.
You gotta talk about it. You
because you're still not.
You gotta heal it. Right. You have to heal it.
I'm listening to Mary J. Blige do all these interviews and realize, even though she was at her happiest, she thought she still was not healed. She's been putting it in her music, so she's helping other people.
That's right.
But she never thought
to
herself. Help herself. Okay. So as artists,
you're a big Mary J. Blige fan.
Right. I'm an R&B 90s kid myself.
Yeah, there you
but
go.
You have to, as artists, I've realized, and anybody that works a lot, that is immersed in their work or their passion, you have to not only help other people, but you have to figure out all that I'm giving out, how can I utilize that to make myself whole? Am I listening to the advice that I'm giving? Right. Am I listening to the music that I'm putting out there? Am I a part of this healing, or am I just a vessel to keep dishing out and manufacturing these healing potions outwardly? What's coming back? How am I feeling about my cup? So that's been what art is to me. So for you being an artist, how do you self-medicate? How do you keep your cup full and not just pouring out all this healing?
Yeah. Therapy was critical for me. It was that Really, and right now I'm connected to and right now I'm connected through, although I'm not in formal therapy anymore, I know that access, it's always available to me, but more the route of spiritual direction, more like peers with some like similar experience, helping each other, like a mutual support system.
Would you suggest people kind of do both, or
it depends on the situation. I don't. I really don't like to put stuff out there like as a cookie cutter for people to do that. I like to look at each individual person and say, try to help them discern what path might be best for them.
Tell me this: what would be the strengths in either side of it?
I think
the holistic side versus the clinical side. Like, what are the strengths?
The two that I'm referring to, like formal therapy, like traditional treatment, sitting with a person, 50-minute therapeutic hour, so to speak. The benefit of that is the anonymity. When I'm working with someone in therapy, I'm yours for that 50 minutes. I'm not doing laundry lists in my head. I'm not responding to phones. I'm a unbiased, objective person. I'm not judging you. I'm allowing you to be exactly. You bring everything, and I'm holding space for you during that period.
That's why therapists are so strict with their time, people. Yeah, because they're giving you a part of their life.
And it's the truth. And I give of myself, and that's the gift of that. Now, a mutual friend or support system, or like, for example, spiritual director, you're on the same path. It's like not really like a therapist, but you have similar tracks and you're sharing with each other. It's not one-sided. Therapy is one-sided. I'm listening to you. I'm absorbing everything from you, but I'm not sharing necessarily, although I do self-disclose depending on the situation, but it's kind of taboo in our field. But when you
that's not the point.
It's not the point. It's not about, me telling you my pain. That's counterproductive. Right. I'm here to help you resolve your issues. And so, but a mutual friend, this person happens to be a spiritual director, phenomenal soul. I'm really connected to her, very good relationship. And we share with each other. I help her through her mess. She helps me through my mess. So it's more mutuality there. And my sister, Mama D, let me shout her out. That's my road dog. We've been together through college, but maybe we're 1 year apart. Of the 11 siblings, we are the closest. My sister Glendale,
she's
oldest.
Sister.
She's my blood. And my oldest sister Del, I'm always in her. I called today about a situation on the job. Oh, it was a trauma today, and I called, hey Del. So I have people that I can reach out to. But my most powerful source of healing is that little instrument right there. When I'm feeling any type of way, I play a drum, and I'm telling you, it heals me. It heals me. Drumming heals. And so talking with people, reading, I find, like you're saying, sharing your story, listening to someone else's story, we can find healing on that path. Dancing, yoga, anything that takes you out of your head and into your body, moving energy through, because energy gets stagnated in here. If you're connected with the chakra system, if you're in tune with that, stuff gets blocked. So we need to move it. Get stuff to move, and it works differently for different people. I think when you're in deep psychological distress, like if you're suffering from like a clinical depression, for example, something that's organic, something that's not just situational or episode, or just like a seasonal mood disorder, something that's really organically in your brain, I think something like therapy is indispensable. Your friend may not be able to walk you through that, because therapists, we have a certain skill set that we've studied, we've trained, we've learned, and we know how to help people through pain.
Get to the core.
Yes, and sometimes you need a therapist, sometimes you need a drum, sometimes you need a yoga class, sometimes you need just to have a good friend listen to you. And some people say that, well, therapy is just a paid friendship. I've heard people tell me that, you don't have any friends, so you pay a therapist to listen to you. I mean,
And from my experience, I would have come out thinking that. But something in that moment said, I am just supposed to organize this stuff. Nothing has to be fixed in this moment.
No.
I just needed to organize because it was a bunch of stories. And one of my favorite, I don't want to call her a therapist, but she just is motivational. Jan Levanzat. She, I listen to a lot of what she says, but it's all sums up to me. Are you still getting high off of this thing that happened to you or this experience that you had? Because that means you're not even on top of it. You're still behind it.
Right.
And it's not going anywhere, and it's probably getting bigger in your life and how it manifests itself in your day-to-day life. And I really I value your ability to be able to understand that and then verbalize that to people, because a lot of people can't do that. They can't stay so stern about it and so focused in it, because a lot of people who have that gift to help others get through, they get arrogant in it, and they become almost godlike, as if they're manipulating your emotions and your feelings. From pastors to therapists to psychiatrists, counselors, they get controlling of your emotions, and they forget that they're there to just help you get back in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
The doctor that I have now, I was so upset when she decided that she was going to retire, because she was the first person that ever explained my health, mental, physically, and as far as, okay, right now you're in the passenger seat, and I'm going to get you on this level, and at some point you need to take over, because this car will crash if you don't take over. And it gave me, mentally, it helped me to realize that's what's going on. Like, I have to organize, and I can do some of it myself, but now I put it into my art. I'm at my best when I'm creating something with my hands. So I love, this season of Lent, every day, instead of me giving up something, I did something, opposed to giving up something which is going to cause me like the shakes, and I can't give up sugar. So I decided to make at least 5 pairs of earrings for the duration of Lent. And I came out with a lot of stuff. I wish I would have practiced selling this stuff, but it definitely, I looked at the end of Lent and I was like, this is a lot. And my mind, I put restrictions. I couldn't buy anything. I couldn't buy any more tools. I had to use what I had.
Okay.
And it forced my mind to be creative and not just make a pair of earrings. It forced me to be creative. And your mind, you realize you can hurt your mind. Like, your mind is a muscle at times, and you can really over exercise it. And I would be tired, and I'd be like, oh, I can't do this like today. But no, you got to get up and you got to make these 5 pair. And it forces you to go to places to find it. If you were not a musical or literary artist, what would you be doing in the arts?
I have no clue.
Have you tried any other? Because you dance, you play an instrument, you write.
Yoga, I write.
Have you tried painting or acting or?
Acting in high school, I did some acting, and I thought I was a theater major when I got to College Park, but that quickly dissolved. Like, that's not what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to do that.
Maybe you could have been a dramaturge or
and I was
a
drama
director. I feel
and all
a director in
that.
you, like being able to paint a picture and put me into the picture. I'm always looking for a job, so I'm always trying to get somebody to get to their promised
so we can
place.
bring you aboard. I get that. But nothing sticks. I think I'm so passionate about what I'm doing now. Maybe as I evolve further, something else will jump out. But right now, I'm very.
Have you thought about writing a book?
No, the dissertation was the book enough. That was.
You sound exactly like me. In college, I wrote because I had to.
Yeah, and I like writing, but I don't like writing necessarily for display or show. I write for myself, and I mean a book. That never crossed my mind.
You share it.
I do.
So you find ways to get it out, and I think that's the healthy part of it all. Finding those ways to get it out. So today's topic is actually rhythm of a nation. So in our last segment, after this quick break, I'm going to ask her, what does that mean to you? And we have our special question, what advice would you give to your 17-year-old self? So I've given you the homework. When we come back from the break, we're going to get the answer. So we'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BigExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere.
If you missed last week's show of Weird Radio on BigExposedRadio.com, check out this flashback.
Because he's a family man.
Yeah, because we got somebody who wants to eat every day.
Absolutely.
More
gotta
than
feed
once.
the kid, man.
Every day, more than one time.
Gotta keep the kid fed.
More than one time. He needs to be fed at least twice.
But I'm joined
He gets
by
a
Big
little
Mama
cranky
Amma.
if you don't. Have you met me? Yeah, he has no filter. So it's Like it is really funny when I posted this the other day that I did not ever want to know this much about myself. Your children are you and whoever else you have made a child with, and then all of the people that are in that bloodline. So my son has so much, because he comes from a long line of extremely intense individuals. Not necessarily dramatic, but I will, because some of them were just grumpy and mean, so I can't say dramatic. But intense, I think, covers that whole spectrum. Yeah. Like some seriously intense, hardcore people. So he's so much, man. If he's hungry, you can always tell, because he'll be, what's wrong with you? Are you hungry? Okay, why didn't you just say that? Why did you try to hit me? That wasn't.
That would drive me crazy. Go, use your words, bro. Use your damn words.
You can say that all day. When that switch flips, you are no longer talking to a human being. You are talking to an emotional animal.
That's why I don't want kids, though. So I know my side of the family. I know me and my side of the family. So whatever female I decide to mate with, if they batshit crazy,
it's just gonna
be a little demon child.
That's how he talks.
Yeah. So.
But they're fun.
No,
like he's a hater. I'll say that. My son is a hater. If you're having a really good time, he gonna figure out how to shit on it. Absolutely.
Now we got.
But hey, Easy, go away. Why is that how you just woke up? Like, what?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Because you're taking care of yourself, now you're difficult.
Right, and this was the same time that all this stuff was coming up with Monique, and I instantly was like, no, I'm not difficult, I'm not.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
But then I sit back and I was like, well, you paid me to do this, so that was extra. I don't have time for the extra, so I'm gonna just do this. But we're back here on the extra, the extra credit of it all. We're back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. I have Drum Dr. Dot joining us right now, and she's a phenomenal drummer, a phenomenal poet, and now I'm learning her spiritual self as a counselor and as a healer to other people. But before we went to break, I asked her two questions. One, rhythm of a nation. That was our topic for today. When you think of that phrase, what comes to mind?
All right. Rhythm of a nation, just right. I'm thinking about rhythm, of course. I'm thinking about energy. That's what comes to my mind. For example, I travel to Africa pretty much every year, and I think about the pace.
I'm going the next time.
Yeah,
let me know.
There you go. I think about the pace of life, the rhythm of life, if you will, there, and how everything is sort of flows, and it's not this. When I think of the rhythm of a nation, of our nation, it's over an abundance of everything, and your life is like this, and I'm feeling it now. I haven't worked full time since '99 when I started my private practice. I've never worked full time. I'm in a full time job now. My life is like this. I get off work 7. I do all these things, and not that anything in my life relaxed once I got a full time job. This job is superimposed on everything that was already happening, so my life is so overwhelmed. That's my rhythm right now that I desperately need to get out of, and it's coming. I'm coming up on a year at Central Booking. Absolutely can. It will. And stress will kill you. We know that. We know that.
More so
I'm
than
aware.
heart attacks.
Awareness is the first step. I'm aware, so I'm trying to, thank you, Nate. And so I think about rhythm, the pace that we drive ourselves at. That's the rhythm of our nation. And I think of other cultures that don't have that same type of rhythm. So it's sort of like a pun, and that's what I think of when I think of a rhythm of a nation. That's my Reader's Digest version of an answer. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Well, and that's I didn't expect anything else, and there was no right or wrong answer. It's just, you have a musician on, you make topics, that
related
fits them, but it really, harmony is what kept coming in my head, and then the topic came because we deal with a lot of engagement here on this show, like helping artists and business owners, be more engaging. But you have to create harmony, because I can't just push my junk onto you, my sales onto you.
Right.
But what are you putting back into this place that you're taking resources from? It has to be a circle.
That's right.
That life circle.
Interdependence.
Right. It has to keep going, because I can continue to take from the soil, but if I never put anything back, if I never nurture it while I'm taking from it, it's nothing will ever grow there again. Absolutely. And we see our communities where that's happening. Nobody's putting anything back into what they've taken out of. And we have a lot of people, a lot of places that are just dry and they used up. And nobody's nurtured them or it in so long that it just feels like nothing's ever going to grow there. But it's still hope.
And that's why it takes us, to go out one by one. That's the work, isn't it? Is that not the work?
The power of one.
The power of one.
So my last question for you today is, what advice would you give to your 17-year-old self?
That's easy. I would tell my 17-year-old self, first of all, God loves you. That's the first thing. You are already enough.
Okay.
You are already whole. And I say that because I spent the most of my adult life trying to find love, not romantic love, but trying to find that unconditional love. And I spent filling that void. And I spent most of my adult life trying to make it like to be right, or to do the, what I mean? Just trying to. But I'm already, everything I need, I'm already that. And it took me a long time to figure that out. So I no longer run around trying to please people or feed into your agenda. That no longer exists. But had I known that at 17, but actually, you know what? I'm glad I did it. Because everything that I've experienced up to this point really made me who I am today. I'm grateful for those bumps and stumbles and all that other stuff.
And everything you have is in you. It is. At the palm of your hands. We take too much. And we give too much credit to things outside of ourselves.
That's so
We try
true.
to attach ourselves to relationships that complete us.
That's right.
When
and
you
you're already whole.
Right, you're
already
a whole person
but
already.
we don't know that, though.
Right. So you tap into your resources. Figure out your resources are. What does your internal country produce? And go with those things.
Internal country.
Right.
Got that.
Right. And really tap into the resources that you have. Now, people can compliment you, but nobody can ever complete you. They can take away from you, but they can never complete you. And that's something that I hold dear to. I thank you for coming on.
Thank you for
Anytime,
inviting me.
send me some music. I'll definitely put it in our rotation, and you're always welcome to come back. You're right down the street. Just come on.
Down the street. Central booking. I need it.
Just come on down.
Work. Thank you so much, Nate.
So let people know, lastly, where they can find you, if they want to book you or buy a CD.
Buy a CD, sure. I am Dorothy Adamson Holley. That's my Facebook page. I have a Drumetry page, and also NChat, Nyamianti, Cultural Healing Arts Therapy, or NChat. That's another page. But Dorothy Adamson Holley, you put that in Google search, I'll pop up. My
Google
phone number,
me,
everything
baby.
is there. Google me, baby. Google me, baby. Go ahead, baby.
It's all good in the hood.
That's right. You were great, though.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nate.
Our last words for the day: our praise will bring forth water in the wilderness and streams in the desert. Isaiah chapter 35, verse 6. While complaining will only bring judgment, even prayer by itself may fail to reach the fountain of blessings. Nothing pleases the Lord as much as a praise. There is no greater evidence of faith than the virtue of genuine thanksgiving. Are you praising God enough? Thank you again. You'll see us tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Shout out to my entire cast of The King of Howard Street. Shout out to my Aunt Val, who went into the hospital yesterday, but she's out. She's doing much better. No stroke zone. That's always a plus. Shout out to everybody that continues to support us. Again, the Artist Exchange Radio Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, nothing else, because I don't do all those other things. But definitely look for us. We'll be here back tomorrow at 12 noon. The Artist Exchange Radio Show, real artists will talk real live. Thank you again, Drum Dr. Dot.
Oh, thank you.
Signing out.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.